Hi guys, welcome back. All right, so here we go. Aries, let's take a little look. What have we got? Aries, we have the Tower. That is Aries first and foremost. Yes, the Tower is like the difference between day and night. This could be like a big epiphany moment that happens somewhere between, like going to bed one night and waking up the next morning. This could be Aries is like, oh my gosh, I have the answer. I dreamt it in a dream. It's perfect. Four of Cups sideways. Why didn't I think of this sooner? What a bummer. I could have already been down this road. Yeah, but I think this is something that Aries might have been either trying to sort out, trying to figure out how they felt about something, or trying to figure out what route to take on something. We have a Seven of Wands. Okay, so this is the energy of obstacles, sometimes blockages, sometimes, Seven of Wands is hurdles. What are the hurdles to get over? What are the hurdles to get beyond? We have got the Queen of Wands upright. I do think that although obviously Aries is finding a way around a seeming issue, I think what they forgot to do was ask themselves, do I like this? So let me give an example. Let's say Aries was, like, oh man, I've been waiting to find out about if I'm going to get this job, or if I'm going to get this place to live, or I'm going to get, it seems like they were waiting for somebody else's determination. And I think for a while, Aries might have been like, trapped in the energy of like, man, here I am wondering how it's all going to go. But what they maybe had forgotten is that first and foremost, what is it that they truly want? Sometimes we can find ourselves waiting for someone else's determination about something that isn't really what we wanted for ourselves in the first place. Sometimes that's how we end up, I think, going down the path of like, feeling like we have to pick the best out of a bunch of options we don't even want. And I think Aries is like, wait a second, it's my life. I pick the things that I want. If I'm on my path that is really right for me, I will continuously probably gravitate toward things that I really, really care about, invest in, things that I won't even have these wonders or worries like, is this going to work out for me? What are all the obstacles around it? I won't be focusing on obstacles. I'll be focusing on solutions. So I'm just wondering if maybe Aries is just like, you know what? It doesn't matter. If that's not meant to be mine, I don't have to stress out about whether or not there's obstacles. If something says no to me, I will trust that it's because that wasn't supposed to be mine anyway. Let me get back to just asking myself, where do I see my life going? What is it that I'm truly hungry for? What would I like to see happen? And just stick with my power and my desire and focus my energy on that instead of focus my energy on blockages. Four of Coins. Yeah, I think this is the moment Aries stops worrying about whether or not, someone is going to like select them, or whether or not their application will be approved, or whether or not certain things. Aries is like, my life is definitely not going to be beholden to whether or not somebody says I can do my life the way I want it to. Meaning, like, okay, let's say, for example, Aries put in an application for something. They don't know if they're going to get that job. Sure, we never know for sure. But there's probably a lot of other jobs out there that Aries would really want as well. May as well go after all the things that we really, truly want, and then see which one of those things that we truly want pan out. Withdraw our energy from worrying about stuff and replace it by the energy of, I know that what I'm really seeking is something that is still up ahead for me. Maybe now's not the perfect time. Maybe that situation wasn't the perfect situation. So that's why it's not mine right now. Doesn't change that I get to keep focusing on what I truly want. So it's a mindset shift. It doesn't mean that Aries immediately is like, well, I get anything I want as soon as I want it. It's a mindset shift so Aries can release any feelings of stress or pressure about how will this work out? What if this? What if that? Aries circles back around and says, hang on now. I'm making choices in my life to pursue things that I care for and care about. There is more than one thing that I care about doing in my life. So let me keep it broad. Let me keep, leaning toward things that I I want to do. We have got the Three of Wands here. We have got the Queen of Pentacles. Very nice energy. The future is extremely bright for our Aries, and they're getting more like dialed in, locked in. I kind of feel like this might be about career related stuff, money related stuff. It doesn't mean that we don't have to make good financial decisions, right? All characters have to make good financial decisions. But there's definitely situations in life where, you know, we can't, you know, freak out necessarily about like, well, am I going to get this job with this particular paycheck? And that's all we do is hyper focus on just that one job and that one paycheck, that it's like, I have to get that one job with that one paycheck, because there's probably other amazing jobs. And in fact, there could be even better amazing jobs out there. So keeping that positive mindset and saying, I'm going to keep applying for other fabulous things because I foresee my future being successful, being fulfilling, having the financial success that I want. And that's okay. I should be a little picky. This is my energy I'm going to be giving. You know, hold on to my plan for my life instead of start to feel fear about like, oh my gosh, will I get something that will work for me? This is kind of like, well, of course, because there's many, many, many different opportunities out there that I would care to explore. One of these will pan out for me. It's very much this beautiful mindset shift. This is Aries, like completely letting go of fears and worries. What if? This is basically breaking away from any lack mentality and coming right back around to, I'm a winner, darling. And Aries is. Aries comes across as two queens and the star card now. Star is where we reach really high up and we get our greatest wishes and dreams to come true. But it's hard to do that if we're constantly like looking down at the ground, freaking out about, am I going to get the little tiny crumbs? It's like, keep looking for the what is the best possible outcome? What is the thing we'd most want to have happen? What is the outcome or the drive or the thing that we'd most love to have happen in our lives? To have two queens here, Queen of Wands and a Queen of Pentacles, and this is Aries energy, like grounded, stable, passionate, creative, and now leaving worries and stresses of obstacles and missed opportunities in the past and only shifting into this confident, like, I can see my future and I'm going to have my dreams and wishes come true. And things that don't work out for me, probably because it wouldn't have contributed to my big dreams and goals. I'm not worried about the things that don't work out. I keep gravitating and keep reaching for stars and keep reaching for successes that I do want. I keep applying for different jobs that I would like. I keep gravitating and reaching for the life I do want for myself. I don't worry about the things that fall apart. I don't worry about the things that can't be a part of my future because they maybe weren't ever going to be the things that would lead me to my big goals. Not getting a job that wouldn't have really paid me the amount I needed anyway, fine, who cares? Not getting a job that I did really, really want, and I thought it would be the fastest way to my path. Sometimes what we think is the best route is not the best route. Sometimes we're protected. Sometimes, we'll find a whole nother avenue that will, like a detour that's so much better than that main road we thought we were supposed to travel. So there's a lot of like trust in the flow, trust in the universe, and keep looking at, hey, I'm in charge of making my dreams, and I'm reaching for my dreams all the time. And there's probably more than one way to get there. So I'm going to not stress out about seeming setbacks. We got the High Priestess. This is something I think Aries has known for a while. I even would go so far as to say this Aries knows intuitively that there will be, we all hit plateaus in life sometimes. And the plateau is not where we're supposed to be freaking out. It's where maybe we're allowed to rest, catch our breath, enjoy just being at a stable space, just the way she sits here right now. Enjoy like recognizing I'm in between one chapter of my life and the next that's about to begin. This is my chance to kind of like get grounded, get centered. I always look at it as kind of like, if we know we're going to be taking a big trip, but we have to get to the airport a couple hours early, instead of being like, oh my God, I'm so bored, I have to wait at the airport. It's like, actually, this is so nice. All the prep that I did before the trip is done. what I'm going to be doing on the trip has not yet begun. So I have this blessed little chunk of time where I can relax in this nice air conditioned airport, maybe get some snackies, some coffee, kick it a little bit. Just, I have nothing more to do than just be for a moment. Think my own thoughts, relax a little bit. It can be this wonderful decompression time. And I almost think that Aries knows to use this time. Even here, we see that we're in between two things. We're in between day and night. Here is this high priestess sensing I'm in between two candles, different colored candles. I'm in between two different things. I intuitively know my next chapter of hopes, wishes, dreams, and goals. That's what I'm going after next. I don't have to start envisioning a whole bunch of obstacles to my success. I just get to relax and say, right now, I'm where I need to be. Let me take it as a gift, and then also allow me to like get excited still about what comes next, because I want to reconnect with what my dreams are for my life. Six of Wands. And also give oneself a pat on the back, Aries. Aries has done a lot. And this is, a marathon, not a sprint. I think that this Aries has been pushing themselves really, really hard. And the universe is like, hang on. Have you paused to enjoy who you are, what you've accomplished? Be in that energy. No lack mentality, no worries about obstacles, no worries about what if I don't get the next chapter of my life? What if I don't get the next win? Let's focus on letting go of those thoughts. Let's focus on giving ourselves a few accolades. Let's focus on thinking, come on, Aries, who wouldn't want to hire this Aries? Aries is amazing. Think about all the successes. Puff your own self up a little bit by being honest with the accomplishments you've made. That's kind of what the universe is nudging this Aries. Sometimes you get a plateau in life, so you can pause and look in the mirror and be like, dang, I got a lot going for me. In fact, maybe I already have a really amazing life and I'm not doing it justice because I'm not paying attention to that. I'm only focusing on the next, what I have to have next. And the universe is like, please do love the life that you currently have created also. Otherwise, you'll always be chasing some other satisfaction. Now, there's another reason Aries could be at this happy plateau before the next journey begins. And it could be that Aries is being allowed to sit and settle and rest because somebody wonderful needs to cross their path. We have a soulmate coming in, possibly coming back. Aries' next chapter of life and all the wishes and dreams they have for their life could be way sweeter than they would imagine. They could be about to meet a romantic partner, but they wouldn't do that unless they had just a moment to be right where they're at. This could be like, I haven't found another job to change to yet. And it's like, well, that's maybe because some new person's going to get hired and you've got to be in this place to meet them, because they could become the really integral part of Aries' life, or the love of Aries' life. Maybe Aries hasn't found a new place to move to because maybe an old flame is coming back to town, or somebody needs to reach out to Aries and they only have Aries' old contact info. Maybe Aries hasn't got a new phone yet with a new phone number because somebody is going to reach out to them. You never know why plateaus occur in life. But in this case, it's this, like, on one hand, I think Aries gets a chance to really celebrate who and what they are. And on the other hand, there are beautiful things that also have to find their way into Aries' life. We got a Queen of Swords. And the notable thing about this card is that she has this third eyeball that is totally open. And when we couple it with that High Priestess, to me, I think Aries is sensing, I have a feeling everything is going according to a bigger cosmic plan. All I have to do is stay in this positive mindset of, I really want my life to blossom. I look forward to all kinds of successes I envision for myself. I receive the blessings, including the plateaus, before, the next big surge of excitement comes into my life. And I kind of already know that this is a moment in time that I'm supposed to absorb and stay focusing on, my accomplishments, who I am, the things I love about my life, because I'm building fertile ground to receive the next chapter of my life. I kind of think that's the way this Aries is, like, subconsciously and maybe intuitively aware that I think something big is brewing for me, something good, something I really genuinely want. So let me not stress out about what if I don't get it? What if something doesn't work out? Because I kind of feel like Aries is waiting on a determination about something that they may not even care about. And they subconsciously know that too. And in the meantime, something else that they really would prefer, something that's so great for them, so perfect for them, or like I say, a person, a soulmate, an offer is going to be coming in the meantime. It's This is a story, like sometimes we find ourselves right where we're supposed to be, even though we don't always know that. Yeah, Prince of Pentacles, there's a certain amount of like, it's okay to go a little slower in life. It's okay to let things unfurl. At the end of the day, Pisces is still on their life path. The Knight of Coins, Prince of Coins, he's the only knight that ever makes it to the castle. He's the one who has a quest, and that quest can be a long one, and it can, have a lot of detours and winding roads, but he's the one who always still ends up getting to the castle. The other knights don't, but he does. And it's like you're still on your life path, even if Aries is, taking some winding roads and switchback trails and sometimes stopping to let his horse get a drink of water. Ultimately, our Aries life path is still the path that they're on, and it's to be enjoyed. So very nice. For a fictional story, I really enjoyed this one, especially for our Aries. All right, you guys, thank you for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.